Why are we back here? Okay, it is 3 years later because that's how long it took me to emotionally recover from the first 13 pages of this book. By which I mean, I had filmed the entire book for the video 3 years ago back in lockdown, but then my phone ran out of storage, so I had to delete it, and I could never be bothered to edit the whole thing, so it just never saw the light of day. And now I guess I'm redoing it. Oh joy. So, I don't know where we were. Something about a cold sweat, which feels accurate. What the fuck does this say? I can't even read it. What is this supposed to say? I'm shuddering at the very idea of an enlarged audience to feed my frustration, humiliation, and helplessness. I'd tell Mum, but she's no help. She pretends to make a big fuss and then claims she understands. Even my own mother is lying to me. My life's becoming so ironic that I think I'm going to be run over by an ambulance. What? That's not what irony... What? What? No, incorrect. On a more positive note, ellipses. Never mind. I'm so pessimistic. Thursday, 5th of December 2014. My least favourite day of the week. I hate French. Sorry, I know he's talking about the lesson, but I just pictured him going, I hate the French. I hate French, despise PE, loathe art. I wouldn't if I didn't sit next to Tonya. I remembered the name. Love English, adore history, detest maths. None of this is relevant to the story. I played Assassin's Creed on my phone at lunchtime break. Then I got a massage. A message. Oh, he's going out. Oh, so it must be something really threatening and integral to the plot. My granddad's birthday's Saturday. I forgot to get a present. It's actually funny that it took me 3 years to pick this book back up because I'm facing 22 now. So give it a few more months and it's been a decade since I wrote this, which is terrifying to think about because it feels like minutes. When I got home after school, I informed Mum that I was going to Sainsbury's. She was incredibly reluctant. Why? She's not the one doing it. She asked me what for and reminded me that I'd just gotten home. I told her that I was going to get Grandad's present. Grandad spelt with 2 Ds for some reason. But then she said, we'll worry about that tomorrow. She'll probably forget, like me. Why she always tells me to remember everything is beyond me. Then she shrieked at the mirror and fumbled about with her hair. Mum's always fussing about how she looks. She cares far too much. She always says there's a difference between not caring enough and caring too much. I'll never understand why... That took a turn. I'll never understand why girls always try to look flawless. Fussing over one grey hair? Well, guess what? That's life. You don't see the specks of dust floating around trying to win fashion contests. You don't see me trying to seduce girls with my good looks. Oops, bad example. I don't understand 12-year-old me's mind. I don't get it. How did it function? How did this bitch remember to breathe? Friday, 6th December 2014. Same old rubbish today. That could have been the whole day. That would have been funny. That would have been good if you just left it there. But he elaborated. He didn't have to do that, but he did it. For us. No, to us. To harm us. Specifically you. Yeah, you. I can see you. Fuck you. I don't want to read this shit. Computing, PE, break time, maths, French. This is just a fucking syllabus. We don't need to know this. Days are too long. Why did whatever created the world make days long enough to have school be 6.5 hours? That was almost a complete thought. I tried to avoid eye contact with Persephone today, but it was proving to be a challenge. I sit next to her in French and religious studies. I try not to speak too much because everybody knows that I can't go 5 minutes without unsuppressing the stupid mouth of mine and speaking rubbish that bursts out at inappropriate moments. That doesn't even make sense. This feels like it's translated from incorrect Japanese. Like if you ran this through Google Translate and put a typo in each word, this is what would come up. I ran home as fast as I could when religious studies ended. studies spelt with a Y instead of an IE. So I didn't have to worry about getting flattened by a stampede of year 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, 11s and 6th formers. Mum, Jacob, my annoying as hell little half-brother I don't like to mention, and I went to visit my grandparents in Pewsey today. It's a long way from Pewsey to Stroud, but luckily Radio 1 decides to play good music when you're in a stuffy, hot Ford Focus Z-Tech with all the windows wide open. The air conditioning broke when... Over the past decade, I've basically become my brother's dad. No, that sounds weird. Okay, I guess the 12-year-old brain is still in here somewhere, unless this is just infecting me with some sort of fungal disease. Obviously, I don't have to clarify this, but I will. This is not my outlook on my brother anymore. I basically see myself as his dad. I'm a better parent to him than his dad ever was. If you're watching this, fuck you and please die. We arrived at my grandparents' house. That's the full sentence, okay? In pure honesty, it's just Granddad's house. He shed blood, sweat, and more blood and sweat making that house. Say house one more fucking time. That house took 3 years to fix after it was bought. Hundreds of thousands of pounds were spent. Needless to say, all that money was Granddad's on that house. You didn't even need to put it there. Why is that? Why? You added repetition and therefore ruined the structure of the sentence. Sunday, 8th December 2014. I had an enjoyable walk in the garden today. It was surprisingly sunny out. I wondered how this could get better. Jake demolished the almost perfect silence, but I didn't mind. I was in a very good mood for once, so I played hide and seek with Jacob. He's actually an incredibly good seeker, but he couldn't hide to save his life. We soon got called inside for dinner, after I found Jacob in the shed with a bucket over his head. Boring, traditional roast dinner. Should that be a paragraph, right? Who cares? I hate tradition. After I had finished, me, Mum and Jacob gave Grandad a card from each of us, which said happy birthday, as opposed to happy Halloween. What the fuck do you... I just spent the next few hours watching movies, then Mum, Jacob and I had to go home. If you're wondering why I'm reading it in this stilted manner, it's because that is the only manner that this prose deserves. But also, the writing is so clunky anyway, that it would sound stilted no matter what. Mum, Jake and I had to go home. I said goodbye to Grandma and Grandad and hugged them both. After an hour-and-a-half drive in a hellishly boiling car that was so inflagrating I feared I'd spontaneously combust into blue inferno, we got home and I played Sonic the Hedgehog for the rest of the day. At the end of every paragraph, I just find myself asking why. The story hasn't started yet. And we're on page 19. None of this was necessary to the plot at all. Not even to introduce the characters. You could have done it in such a more succinct and poignant way. You didn't even talk about your granddad on his birthday. You were just like, yeah, it was boring. I watched telly. We went to the car. It was hot. Played hide and seek with my brother. And we got him a car. This cunt doesn't care. This guy only cares about himself. He's still at his child stage. Me. Mark my words. I guarantee you he does nothing selfless in this entire story. I thought about recent events. I thought about my homework. How far behind I was with it all. Remember when that was a big deal in your life? Miss the days. I thought about school and how I could become popular in the right way. I thought about the school bullies and how I wished they would all just disappear. Disappear is spelt wrong. So they just got back from a birthday and all of a sudden this dude's feeling depressed. Nothing has triggered this. He's just depressed now. Monday, 9th of December, which is my real world birthday, 2014. Oh my god, I've just realised what 12-year-old me has done. It's page 20 and for some reason numbers are like significant in my brain and stuff. But also, past me waited till page 20 on his birthday for the main character to actually become a part of the story. Anyway, here we are. School today. Yawn. I slumped out of bed. Yawned. Stretched. Yawned again. Scratched my neck. Wait, what the hell? I felt my neck. There were 2 puncture marks near my jugular. I looked up at my hands. They were a pale ice white, as opposed to a dark ice white. I am a vampire. I am one of the undead. I am a creature of the night. This kind of flowery bullshit is what I thought constituted good writing. Why did nobody tell me? We really need to actually, like, teach people how to write. This is a testament to our failing education system. This is nearly impossible me to face up to. As cool as all that sounds, no matter how I try to put it to words, I can't believe vampires exist. What else will turn out to be real? Werewolves? Ghosts? Santa? Actually, I know for a fact the Santa doesn't exist because I helped Mum and Granddad put presents around the Christmas tree last year. So there. I looked in the mirror. For reasons best known to themselves, I somehow still casted, not a word, a reflection in the mirror. For reasons best known to themselves is a phrase that now reading it, I understand why no one uses it, but maybe it could make a comeback if people decided their brains were no longer necessary. Note to self, never ever ever tell anyone about this current point in time. Why do you write like this? Adding more words does not make your story more sophisticated or good. Why do you have no grasp on what sounds natural? I thought about staying in bed today, but decided against it. After all, one day's a lot of education to miss. I must have known at the time that no one thinks like this. I know I personally did not agree with this sentiment, so why did I completely just obliterate the suspension of disbelief for this one sentence? The vampires I can abide. This is unacceptable. I ran to school. Thoughts flooded through my head. Out of 7 billion people, why did I have to be the one into a vampire? I suppose I can hardly deny it now, can I? No, I don't think you understand how incoherently this is written. This is 3 sentences on the same line against each other. Why did I think this would be legible to anyone? How did I finish this book the first time? I don't get it. I stopped abrupt at the school. At the school door entrance. I forgot entirely about the atmosphere around me and was lost in thought, and questions exploded in my head. Wouldn't I suffer intolerable... Sorry, this is so bad. Wouldn't I suffer intolerable pain if I went inside without consulting the rightful owner first? Then again, I still have a reflection in the mirror, so maybe the transformation from human to vampire wasn't yet complete. Or loads of stuff about vampires isn't true. Most likely the latter. I clamped my eyes shut and opened the door, taking a deep breath. 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps. Nothing. Although I was relieved about the intolerable pain thing, I couldn't idolize. I think he means to be idle. I couldn't stay idle. I couldn't idle. You could have just fucking said I couldn't idle. What the fuck does idolize? Idolize who, bitch? Fucking Aquaman! I had to proceed through the day. That's not English. I must proceed through the day. No. Stop it. Get some help. I sat down at my seat. My handwriting's so bad I can't actually identify punctuation in this. How many other vampires must there be in the world? No one else knows about my condition. I knew that if anybody looked at me, they'd see me as a normal person. They'd never know what was going on in my life. The depth of the emotions rolling through me like a roller coaster. Maybe some of my classmates are the same as me. Maybe I'm not the only one. Maybe one of them knows what I'm going through. No, that's ridiculous. That's part of the book. Before today, the only thing abnormal about me was the amount of times I got bullied. But now, how I find the words to describe any of this is a mystery in itself. I looked at Persephone. She looked back. There was an expression of suspicion in her glowing emerald eye. Wait, is that how suspicion's spell. No, it is. Sorry. I'm actually, this is making me dumber. This book is actually a spell tone for transubstantiation, and it's converting my brain into human fecal matter. Then we just stared at each other in silence. Then a timid voice shattered the silence. What? Stop staring at me. Whoops. I turned around and faced the front, barely listening to Mr. Burry talking about what alcohol does to the human body. It won't affect me. My body's already dead, as I am a vampire. My heart isn't beating. If anyone touches me, they'll feel nothing but glacial sub-zero temperatures. That's also how I feel emotionally. Shut the fuck up. Anybody else would be happy about becoming immortal? No. This is the most inhuman reaction to no longer being human. So this is just another thing to complain about. I don't stop talking, do I? No, you don't. You really should. You really should. You really should stop talking. You really should stop talking. I went through the whole day saying nothing. There's two sentences just together. Not even when the bully gang came over to me. I said nothing, apart from get stuffed. That's not fucking nothing, bitch. In PSC, I got a detention for talking. Okay, maybe I wasn't entirely telling the truth when I claimed I didn't say anything. It's so unnecessary. The detention was as boring as watching glue dry 5 times as slow. It's like he went to school, got distracted, and just forgot he was suddenly undead. I'm writing this in McDonald's. No doubt my mum will have a whale of a time yelling at me for receiving a detention. I stared in the mirror for ages, examining my new fangs that were protruding from my gums. Don't ask me why I can still see my reflection. I said don't. Why are you still asking me? That's what qualified as funny for me back then. I thought vampires could only consume blood, but I can still eat and drink normal stuff. Maybe I'm dreaming. Maybe I'm going mad. I'll cut one of my arms to determine. Ow! I'm not dreaming. Shouldn't have done that. It hurts. What was I thinking? I'm such an imbecile. I looked downstairs. We're out of plasters. Well, that's the stupidest thing I've ever read. My day is now substantially worse. Tuesday, 10th of December 2014. My arms were already healed. I laughed in amazement of the rapid recovery. I had to work on a textbook in science because somebody stole a Bunsen burner for some reason. And Mr. Burry said we won't be doing any practical science until whoever took them comes clean. Why do they have questions in parts? No, that's what it says. Why do they have question in parts? What? Who are you? What do you want? Deep breath. Have some nicotine to emotionally recover from this. That's some good cancer. Why do they have questions in parts? And your English is so bad, and it's making me so sad. For example, how can you just move on from that? Question 1 is split into 2 sections, question 1A and question 1B. I'm stuck on question 2B. To be or not to be? Get it? To be or not to be? Shakespeare, spelt incorrectly? Oh, forget it. I'm such a bad comedian. I can't actually describe how painful this is to read. It makes me upset. I looked over at Persephone, who resides at the opposite side of the class. I just realised I'm a vampire trying to win the girl's heart. I'm such a cliche. None of this is worth reading. Oh my god. This entire page is written in red for some reason, but also scribbled out. The entire page. So it's gotta be good. Let's read it. Let's see what even 12-year-old me couldn't stomach about his own writing. I made a rap about Persephone, oh god. I've noticed I've made a lot of raps over the past few days. If I continue like this, I might actually get a rapping career. Career spelled wrong. I need to start thinking realistically. Realistically, spelt rather unrealistically. I met a girl. It was love at first sight. Yeah, no, I already refused to read the rest of this. It's no. A girl? What are you, some sort of hetero? I cannot accurately convey the agony of reading this unless I read it to you, but then I will have to go into hiding. I'm gonna rap this like a rapper, and I'm gonna put an instrumental over this. No, I'm not. I met a girl, it was love at first sight, sitting on a beach at low tide, sharing stories and some tales in our lives. I feel so fly, losing the will to die, feeling faint. I hope I get the chance to tell her I love her tonight. I'll see my name in golden lights, epic rapping white guy. Should I leave for fame, deciding whether or not to decide? That doesn't make sense. I turned to my side, looked at Persephone's side, gazing at her flowing jade eyes. Emerald would have worked better. I finally decided I'll never leave her side. How the fuck is there more? It continues to the next page. I'm good at romantic raps if I say so myself. No one else agrees with you. That was the most unbearable experience of my entire life, and I've been through some shit. Once, I went to the bus stop, and it was 20 minutes late. This is worse than that. Wednesday, 11th of December 2014. I wonder if I'm not a proper vampire yet. I haven't been given any signs that I need blood yet. The repetition is making me feel nauseous. My body should be dyed anymore. Thursday... No. I spelled Thursday wrong. Thursday, 12th December 2014. My mum said I looked pale as death and told me to stay home today. So that must be the sign that I need blood. I look more dead. I know being pale's a big deal as I generally can't actually read that. I have no idea what that says. Hey, viewers, can you fucking decipher the fucking hieroglyphics on this page? Oh my god, I think that's have. How? How is that have? As I generally have quite exceptionally dark skin. Great news for you. That is wonderful. It's gonna be hard finding blood. Who shall I drink from first? Mum? Jacob? Roy? The neighbour? I might do it on a bully at school. Yes, I'm a genius. I hate how full of himself this guy is when having no evidence to back up his bravado. At least the story's picking up now. He's about to go do some vampire shit. I wish I had any interest left to invest in this, but unfortunately, it has all been kidnapped by cats. I can still hear it screaming. It's 4 o'clock now, and I told Mum I was going to Sainsbury's. After I got home from an exceedingly boring day of school, it took a while to convince her to allow me to go. I then ran to school as fast as I could. Tonya does after-school cricket with some of the year 9s. She was last to get changed by far when cricket ended, so there was much less chance of me getting caught. There's still going to be students coming and going, so where are you hiding during all of this? I crept into the girls' changing rooms. People read this. This is so creepy. As I was writing this, 12-year-old me did not even consider that this could be weird. As a vampire, the character doesn't even go, oh wow, this is so weird, I'm a guy in the girls' changing rooms. Which is very topical right now, if you really think about it. Into a very dark corner that made the perfect hiding spot. Oh god. Why are people worried about trans women when 12-year-old vampires are the much bigger threat? Conservatives have their priorities just all messed up. Nobody even talks about the 12-year-old vampires going into girls' changing rooms and hiding in the corner like some pervert, like some creep. Disgusting, not in my country. As Tonya walked past, I grabbed her by the mouth so that she couldn't scream and dragged her into the darkness like any other cliched vampire. I understand it's not that bad, but in the context of he's in a girls' changing room in a secondary school, it's just so flipping screwed up. I knocked her out by bashing her head. My fangs extended further. I feel a bit dirty reading this, to be honest. It just feels morally wrong to read. It feels like an invasion of Tonya's privacy to read this book. Tonya isn't even a real person. I jerked my head back, then struck at Tonya's neck with all my might. I sipped the blood trickling from her neck. It was absolutely Meaning. She brings a whole new meaning to the phrase bad blood. Again with the failed comedy. And yeah, we're going to end it there because I can't actually stomach anymore. So we're on Friday the 13th of December 2014. And we will pick this back up in another 3 years.